Hi, thank you for coming to my channel Compass Starlight. There will be timestamps posted in the description box below. Angels, archangels, guides and spirit guides, ancestors, please watch over this reading and guide us towards that which is in our best interest, in light and love, so that we may learn the most important lessons through the upcoming days. We have the Merchant, card number 4. We have the Emperor, card number 9. And the King, card number 8. This is going to be a reading for the week ahead, sort of a mid-May general reading going forward. See what kind of energies we will be working through and what kind of events or circumstances we may be facing in the week ahead. Today I have the Mantegna Tarot, which is a deck of archetype cards. I have the Divine Feather Messenger for a deck of oracle cards, and I have the Rainbow Tarot as a deck of tarot cards from which I will be drawing, and then additionally I have my Visconti Tarot, which I will use for clarification or confirmation on this reading. Here we have the Five of Cups, Justice, Ace of Swords, Six of Swords and with the Nine of Wands, Ten of Swords, and the Six of Cups. With the White Swan. All of these cards were shuffled prior to hitting the record button. I'm going to go through these tarot cards first. Let's see, we have the Five of Cups. This is indicative of outside influence for the past. Okay, so what we had was some kind of circumstances that left us feeling left out in the cold, like we were not fitting in. Perhaps some kind of circumstances that pushed us out from a community or environment in which we were trying to feel at home. So this could be a group of friends that betrayed you, or an employer that betrayed you. If you had asked for a raise and they did not give you that promotion, that sort of thing. This could have been within your family environment or that of an educational institution. And with that energy in the past, we were seeking balance and justice for those circumstances. Now, if you can relate to this kind of example, these circumstances where you may have been left out in the past, left out from that group or that institution, somehow ostracized in a way, not taken in, made to take your own road that was different from the path that you had intended, or the path of the group, for example. Just to be more specific, you could have been in a class or a team group at work and meant to work together with a small group of people on some kind of project. And either the group did not like your ideas, or you did not like the way that the group was handling the project. So this would be a situation when you would go out on your own to complete the project yourself, do your own version, and hope that you were recognized for your efforts, and that the balance and justice would be met to you. Now, that is it's just one example, but in, say, a friendship group, this could be where you were betrayed and put out, had people speak ill of you behind your back, and instead of engaging in retaliation or argument to stand up for yourself, instead you took the high road, and you know that eventually those those untruths will come to light, that the truth will eventually be made clear, and at some point people will see the truth behind the individuals that were portraying you as something other than you are, and that the truth will come to light in terms of who you truly are. But you had to kind of turn a blind eye to something that put you out in the cold and keep going forward on your path, sort of forgetting the troubles, not forgetting them, but just putting them aside so that you could focus on continuing to make your life better in the future, and hope that you will be rewarded for all of those efforts and your investment in time. Now, with the current energy, we have outside energy of clarity. This might be information coming to you that gives you new insight and hope. The Swords suit is the suit associated with thought, logic, and reason, knowledge, and clarity. So for the Ace of Swords to be presented in the present energy, this does suggest that there is an opportunity that is either recently, as in the past few days, come into your awareness, and or that it will in the very near future, some kind of information that gives you opportunity and clarity. This is to say, perhaps you asked for a raise or promotion at work, and you've been waiting on it, waiting to see if you'll get it. And so far, you have not received that raise, but in the meantime, you found some other issue at work, whether it's with how you clock in, or maybe it's an issue with the way that you have to run your reports, or however it is. And that exchange with others within the employment operation kind of gives you an idea of the current attitudes, which then tells you whether or not you might be getting that raise. In other words, if you're met with a bad attitude from others, it may be unlikely that you'll be receiving that raise. That's new information. What are you going to do with that information? Maybe you can still wait it out and see if that resolves on your next paycheck, or you can start looking for a new job. Or perhaps you've already begun looking for a new job, and here is the offer for that new opportunity of employment. And you have clarity now. You have the clarity of 2 or potentially more options, ways that you can make improvements in your life, and your choice is whether or not to go forward in the one and not the other. In fact, the Ace, it being singular and not the Two of Swords, even suggests perhaps that you've already made your choice as far as in which direction you will go. Now, where you are in your current energy regarding this outside influence here is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Wands and the Six of Swords. So the 9 came out. I saw that one first, but the Six of Swords came with it. So the Nine of Wands is really a card that indicates being stuck in your head, overthinking things, sort of having the same story being told over and over and over again. And really it's sort of about, will I get the justice? Will justice be received for me based on what I've been through? It's a stress, and if it's gone on for a long period of time, these thoughts can feel like they're imprisoning you. And, whoa, excuse me. These thoughts can feel like they're imprisoning you, but they are your thoughts, and you have every strength and ability to step outside of the confines of these thoughts. It's really up to you and your determination as far as when you will let this go. However, with the Ace of Swords here, this new information, and the Six of Swords coming out with the Nine of Wands, this really says that you are ready to get in that boat and move on to calmer shores. The Six of Swords is about moving on with the hopes of finding something better. And generally there is the choppy water here on one side and the calm water on the other, and moving on to a land you hope will be one of prosperity. And with the swords in the boat, again, this is a card. The swords are associated with thought, logic, and reason. So you've had plenty of time to mull over this decision. Should I do this? Should I do that? How can I navigate through this painful sense of tragic loss, even though you still have 2 cups standing here in the past. How can I move through the sense of this tragic loss and give justice, bring justice to myself? Well, you pick up these 2 cups, weigh them out, right? Consider what kind of value you still have remaining in your life. What can I do with my skills? Where can I bring my love and attention? Where can I bring my investment? And you've done something for yourself to bring forth this new opportunity here. Finally, moving forward into the future energy. The outside influence here is the 10 of Swords. And then we have the 6 of Cups. Now, this could be, for example, if it is a job, when you put in your notice, you may get some reactive energy. Or this 10 of Swords could be that feeling that was the total loss from the past. This is a recognition of it and your opportunity to move forward from it. Nonetheless, there was a feeling of utter disappointment, betrayal, heartache, just being done with something so over. And here we have the 6 of Cups. This is an opportunity to receive balance. The 6s are generally cards of balance. We have the 6 of Swords. That's a wonderful card of moving forward to something better. And here the 6 of Cups. This suggests emotional fulfillment. So the 6 of Cups is here at the end in this placement is sort of referring to a new opportunity that makes you feel youthful and childlike again. Something that inspires you, that gets you excited, and gives you a sense of emotional fulfillment, which is great. So as children, when we sort of make friends and harmonize, and when we have playtime, and we're building these innocent relationships, it's really about the innocence and letting our guard down and being able to connect with one another and being able to connect with the current circumstances around us. Children don't tend to think so far off into the future. They live more often in the moment. And this is that recognizing that ability to enjoy the moment. So if you are moving into a new job, for example, this would be finding that youthful, childlike enthusiasm to get your hands into something new and to meet new people and make new friends and just try it out and see how it goes. And that's really positive here. If it's any other kind of situation, whether it was a community, an educational institution, again, you're finding something else, something new that is going to bring you a sense of emotional fulfillment and childlike enthusiasm, innocence, open mind, open heart to connect with something new, happy, prosperous, and to enjoy that in life. Now with the white swan here for the oracle card, I'll read that one from the book. The power of divine grace is within you. Swans are mighty in size and power, yet soft with their effortless glide in motion. The swan has long been a symbol of beauty, grace, fidelity, and partnership. The symbolism is enhanced by the color white, the color of healing, purity, and the angelics. Swan is also a symbol of transformation. Many folktales use swan to illustrate the shift from the duckling or child self into the fullness of maturity. Goddesses have also chosen swan as their mount, like the divine goddess Saraswati, who unites with the healing element of water in her quest for wisdom, knowledge, and the arts. The message with the white swan says that the power of divine grace is indeed within you and with you. Your connection to Source is powerful, and the healing potential is connected to your collected merits in the form of grace. Now is the time to embrace these divine gifts where you most need support. That healing may be in the form of a blessing over a current situation or transformation occurring in your life. Know that the divine messengers are assisting you now. You have the power through your own grace to move through any situation or challenge you are facing in a smooth and harmonious way. Well, that's lovely, and that is pretty much what these tarot cards were saying. This was tumultuous here in the past, and you will be receiving justice of some sort. This is moving away from damaging energy, being stuck in your head, and moving into something clear and bright for you. And we'll see what the Visconti Tarot brings out in the cards here. With the Swan, the energies associated with the card are grace, with the animal are grace, beauty, fidelity, and transformation. It's associated with the season of summer, the elements air and water. The colors white for purity and healing. And the affirmation says, I now accept the gift of divine grace and choose to honor the power and healing light within. The white swan also, in terms of its harmonizing with water and air, and the grace associated with the swan, shows that when tumultuous times perhaps appeared in your life, you did move through those with grace. It may have been hard and challenging and weighed on you emotionally, but it seems like what the cards are saying is that you were able to move through the energy, taking the higher ground, trying not to engage in talk back, negative energy, trying not to feed the beast, all of these sorts of things, and just focus on your own energy. Now let's take a look at these Visconti Tarot cards. We have the Merchant. This is card number 4. The Merchant is the archetype for materialism. Preserve honesty at all costs. That's a little heavy too, because when you were met with these 5 of Cups, this energy where you were sort of pushed out, excluded, perhaps misunderstood, I could see where you may have been operating in all honesty in your energy, in your interactions, and yet you could have been made to feel like you may have been called a liar. You may have been meant to feel like you were dishonest, or perhaps other people in that community setting didn't believe you were sincere, thought that you were conniving or manipulative, and that alone can be entirely disheartening, and that contributes to that sense of overthinking here with the 9 of Swords, and overall the reason why you would want justice. Because if you're an honest person and you're operating in honesty and with pure intention, and you're misunderstood, it's an awful feeling, and all you might have wanted was to have that recognition of your pure intention, to be seen as honest, and for the mistruths and the lies to be exposed, not to show perhaps that you're the better person, but just so that people actually see you for who you really are. Yeah, and sometimes when people spread rumors, it's very hurtful. With the Emperor, we have card number 9 here. This is the archetype for initiative. Excessive power sometimes enslaves. I mean, I would look at this tarot card spread here and say, perhaps you have given your power over to a community in the past, a group of people, your coworkers, your employer, whatever the group is. I would suggest that you'd given your power over to them and relied too much upon their feedback, perhaps, or their compensation, and it was not balanced, as we see with this Justice card. Excessive power sometimes enslaves, and then you become a slave to whatever it is, your employer, right? You don't want to be a slave to your job. You don't want to be a slave to someone else. You don't want to be a slave to any particular community. So this also is a card of empowerment, because it forces you to take initiative and do something for yourself. And I see that in alignment with this Ace of Swords here. With the King, card number 8, this is a card of legality. Law and justice often don't coincide. In this particular reading, it looks like law and justice will work in your favor. You'll see justice. So it looks pretty positive. Let's get a couple cards on the table from the Visconti Tarot. I don't know if you guys can hear. My little kitty is sleeping underneath my chair and he is snoring up a storm. He is a loud snorer. So you might be able to hear him. He's very cute, I think. The Knight of Wands. The Five of Cups. These cards sometimes tell a slightly different story. So let's see. What do I say? The Knight of Wands, the Five of Cups, the Page of Swords. Yep. The Wheel. Excellent. Oh wow, that's way too much. But I will take these two on top that I can see. This is the World and the Emperor. Alright, so it's a good place to stop. What do I see here? This situation forced you to take some initiative. Here's the initiative. The new offer, the new energy coming in. The Page of Swords brought this offer. Again, this Five of Cups here is referring to this Five of Cups, which forced you to take action, take initiative. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune spins. You give it time. You gave your situation some time. You gave yourself time to heal and to move forward emotionally, logically, physically, because you've actually taken action on something in your life to improve your circumstances. And finally now, in this week ahead, you're seeing the results of the action you took. You're seeing an offer coming to you. You're seeing an offer presented to you. You're seeing something come into your life that is giving you the opportunity to take your next step. And that next step on your path is leading you on a new path that's a little bit different. This is like where the divergence in the paths leads. This is it. That transition. The Wheel of Fortune. It spins. The new opportunity is rising up for you, which is wonderful. And here with the World, I haven't seen that card in quite a while, which is very nice to see it. The World is your oyster. So this new opportunity, this new land, you're going to visit new horizons. This is going to bring you whatever your heart's desire, whatever your heart desires. So here with the World, it says the world is your oyster. And here, you're hoping to explore that. You're hoping to explore the world. There's the oyster, right? And then finally we have the Emperor. So we actually have the Emperor twice in this reading, and that's very important. The Emperor, he rules over his domain. He's in control of his world, and he knows how to make choices. He knows how to make decisions. He knows how to use his logic. He is the king among kings. In other words, he has mastered the emotional realm. He has mastered the realm of logic. He has mastered the material plane, and the fire element. Yes, well, of course, he is a fire element. The Wands. That is the action. He knows how to take action. And he's mastered how to take initiative on whatever it is, on things, decisions, what have you, based on his logic and emotion. And then he is able to see things through. Where both emperors are appearing here, this being a tarot card and this being an archetype card, and that with a slightly different meaning, it's important to note that excessive power often enslaves, and you want to hold power over yourself. Don't give your power away. So as you move into this new endeavor, a new job, a new city, town, community, a new church, a new educational institution, whatever kind of group this is, as you move into this new opportunity, into this new situation. This says, don't give your power over to others. You have the power to explore this world and all it has to offer. You've taken the initiative to bring this to yourself and to bring this light-hearted, joyful, jovial energy back into your life after feeling struggle and strife. That's the message for the week ahead, for mid-May, and moving forward. Oh my gosh, I can't believe June is right around the corner. Anyway, be well, and thank you for coming to Compass Starlight.